Hello, my name is Don Green, and I am grateful for this opportunity to congratulate you, Little Prairie, on 200 years of kingdom service. Wow, what an accomplishment. Our family history with Little Prairie goes way back with the Neals and the Buntings, but our immediate family dates back about 60 years of engagement with Little Prairie. Through the years, one of the things that Little Prairie has been noted for is how many men and women your congregation has sent out into kingdom service, and I'm grateful to have been one of them. When I first applied to Lincoln, I was asked the names of 3 preachers that had served my church, and I gave the names of Fred Toney, Ronnie Kennard, and Herschel Thompson. And 3 elders were there to provide letters of recommendation, and those names were Virgil Mann, Glenn Shepard, and Earl St. Ledger. So I would not be at Lincoln Christian College, Lincoln Christian University now, were it not for those who were willing to refer me as a student. And I'm grateful for the support that you gave during my schooling. You provided tuition money for me, as you have for so many others. And for all of those reasons, I'm grateful. So have a great day celebrating 200 years of kingdom service as you now prepare for your next century of service to God's kingdom. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Stromat, and I have been here at Little Prairie, I think, since about 2016. I came here for a class. I came here because I had to do a class project and needed to be a part of a group to do so, and started a Bible study. At that point, I was not a Christian, so I think we can say, I can credit my experience here at Little Prairie with providing me a way towards Jesus, certainly, and being a stronger Christian. I stayed at Little Prairie because of the work He's doing in my family. I stay in Bible study because I need to stay in His Word. That's very important to me, to study it and understand it. And being a late in life Christian, I think what's most important to me is that it's been hard to, having not been raised Christian, it's been hard to understand how to understand Christianity. And I've had several not great experiences. I've had some good experiences over my life, but Little Prairie has really been a blessing because these are open and welcoming people. And that has made all the difference, is that they understand it's God's path for me, and not their decisions to judge me or anything like that. And so I just love these people, all the people. I love the joy that we have together. I love the way we serve. I just love Little Prairie.
My name is Gavin Heisman, and I love church because I like all the games sometimes we play here. And I used to go to preschool here and do school here.
Hi. I'm going to try to read my Little Prairie thoughts to you. I'm Leatrice Woods Nash Longbones. I'm 93. I came from a family of lifelong members of Little Prairie. I was baptized October the 25th, 1942, along with several others, and we went to the Albion Christian Church to use their baptistry. Before this, I think they went to the creek and the river to be baptized. This was after a 2-week-long revival at Little Prairie. Throughout my whole life, when faced with sickness, heartaches, and troubled times, I have found comfort and help from our Father in heaven and the love and friendship from our Little Prairie congregation. I pray Little Prairie can continue to show God's love and help those who need help. God bless those who are working to continue this to this day.
My name is Alex Haynes, and my wife's name is Mercedes Haynes, and we appreciate Little Prairie Church for helping us with car repairs and feeling loved and safe in the church.
Hello, my name is Steve Green, and I became a member of Little Prairie Christian Church in 1963. The impact Little Prairie had on my life was in 1968 as I was serving with the Army in Vietnam. The prayers of my mother and grandmother and the ladies group from Little Prairie made an impact on my life. Thank you, Little Prairie.
My name is Vera Muncie, and I like church because we get to learn about the Bible and how the history of God was made.
In early 2022, Champ started bringing in some Venezuelan and Colombia workers for extra help. And I met a young man there named Manuel, and we struck up a friendship, started talking, and I invited him to church. So he came, and through days and weeks going by, God just started to do a work at Little Prairie as far as offering a Spanish service for all of those folks in this area. So we did that. God started that up in May of 2022, and Manuel was the translator. Through that, just the church service, an English class was offered by Chris, Jerry, and Sophie Ballard, and they just kind of took that and went with that. It's just been neat to see how God has just done a work here. It's really God who has done all of this. Just by inviting Manuel, now it's just turned into a regular Sunday morning service that we have with English classes. It's just been neat to see how God has worked through all of this, just through the friendships and the relationships that have been started and built through this. It's been neat to see, and just to be able to pray with the Spanish, and just pray for family members, pray for health of family members that are back home. We just prayed for family members that weren't here yet, and now in the past year they have came and been reunited. It's just been neat, and it's just been a great experience to go through as far as worshiping God in a different language, which has just really been the challenge. But now we see it's just something that really touches your heart. And it's just been great to be a little part of what's happened here with the Spanish service that's been offered here at Little Prairie.
Another thing that we went to was CIY, and there was one of the things where we got to go outside and get these cards, and just God put it in my head, like, He loves us so much. Like, it literally just popped in my head and I started crying.
We moved from Albany down to Albion, and we were kind of discussing in what church where we wanted to go. So one Sunday we went to one of the churches in town, and we wasn't really that satisfied with where we were going. So they were out around the garden working, and Lloyd Nessel Newport came over, and we were talking with them, and then we got to talking about church. So she said, well, we'll just invite you out to Little Prairie. So we said, well, we give that a try. And we did the next Sunday, and we've been here ever since, and very, very happy with the decision that we made.
My name is Hope Adams, and I love being at this church because they've helped my family so much.
Hi, my name is Jana Green. I was a member here for 40 years, from around 1972 to 2012 when we moved to Newburgh, Indiana. But for 20 of those years, I was in the nursery. Mary Ann Mann had sent a little note inside the crease of the bulletin saying, I need your help in the nursery. So Steve and I, along with John and Angie Garrett, sat for 3 hours every Sunday morning loving on the babies. And we never went to the church service, never went to Sunday school. We stayed with the children. So that was my first 20 years. After 20 years, I decided that I felt like I wanted to lead a Sunday school class. and was afraid that Mary Ann Mann would think that was a dumb idea since I had been raised Methodist and had been coming into the nursery for 20 years. But she encouraged me to take it by saying, "What took you so long?" So, I guess what has impacted me the most at Little Prairie are the people that were here in those 40 years. I can't name all of the names, but some of them just have to be mentioned. Mary Ann Mann, as I say, and Virgil, Angie and John, Margaret Cunningham, Eva Isle, Sarah and Irma Over. Those last three names that I just mentioned encouraged my daughters when they would sing or whatever they did as a special at church. They sent notes or met them in the after church to tell them thank you. Frank and Mid Shepherd, Virgil Mann, Jessie Bunning. An interesting story on Jessie. She came to me once after the class that I was teaching, and she said, "I think you should know, I went to your Grandma Porter's Sunday school class when I was a girl, and here I am old, and her granddaughter's leading the class." I thought that was really something. My point is, and I do have one, read in the margins, like Mary Ann Mann. Probably illegal to do that, but she wrote in the margins. That's what got me interested in church here. And the people that were here kept me going. You can make your best friend in the world at a church. My sister Angie would second that fact. Little Prairie will always be my home church, even though we go to a different church now in Indiana. Thank you, Little Prairie.
Hi, I'm Norma English. I'm 75 years old and I've been to church my whole life. I've never been to a church that has cared as much about its congregation and its community as Little Prairie has. I've had several surgeries and they built me a ramp so that I could get back and forth to the hospitals and stuff. Also, when my husband died 2 years ago, they went and took a brand new purpose.
I'm Cameron Harrison and I like this church because we get to sing and I love to sing.
My name is Paul Collins. My wife and I were very thankful for Little Prairie. Our three kids, Dorothy, David, and David, grew up here and became Christians and are active in our church in Florida, Wyoming, and the Chicago area. But I especially remember back when the church burnt and we had this new building built, that we started a bus ministry, and I can still think of the wonderful people like Glenn Franklin and Jack Kelsey, and Ray and Ron Mann, and Lloyd Waters and Bob Green, and helping for 30-some years driving buses to bring kids to school, bring to Sunday school. But and then there was later on using the vans for that same purposes, and even today for helping to bring for the worship service for the Spanish, and also for the different music bands. But I really appreciate that this has been a wonderful church with a strong foundation in our community.
Hi, I'm Dan. I came to Little Prairie because over the years we lived in California for quite a while, and my daughter and her families, they lived here and they came to Little Prairie. So whenever we would come out and visit, my wife and I, Sue, we would come out and visit Little Prairie, and we got to hearing Tom as he was preaching and everything. So Sue and I decided we were going to retire, and we moved out here to Albion, and so we needed a church to go to. So Little Prairie was already in our hearts because of the kids. And once we got here, coming back listening to Tom preaching and telling his story. And Tom is a great teacher. So whenever I would hear him preach, it would be like we would have a conversation, a three-way conversation between him, myself, and God. And that's what keeps bringing me back. So my heart goes out to Little Prairie, the congregation, Tom, Trish. I mean, these are all people who have helped me become a better Christian. And that's what keeps bringing me back.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Rourke. I am the daughter of Clarence and Cleela Mann. I am the granddaughter of Chet and Zita Bauer and Elmer and Nellie Mann. I grew up as a member of Little Prairie Christian Church. My family have been members for as long as anybody can remember. I have many family members, extended family members, and friends that are very active at Little Prairie. So my relationships at Little Prairie go deep and wide. It was such a joy to be able to grow up at Little Prairie. That experience really shaped my beliefs, and my friends were all members of Little Prairie, and it was a wonderful experience for me. I loved Vacation Bible School. I loved going to Sunday school, everything. We did youth groups on Sunday evening. We did youth groups with neighboring churches, I think maybe once a month. And it was just a very special part of my life. And my family moved to Arizona in 1963, and I have lived in Arizona in the Phoenix area all of my life. But thanks to COVID, that sounds a little strange to say, but I have been able to attend church services at Little Prairie, which I do every single Sunday morning. I so enjoy being a part of that service, and occasionally I will see a cousin or someone else that I know, and it's a wonderful experience. I know for my dad, his favorite activity at church was always Homecoming Sunday, because his birthday was on October 11th, and Homecoming Sunday fell right around his birthday, and he always felt like it was a really big birthday party just for him. I love this community. I love the work that they do, and I am so impressed with Tom and Tricia Cater and the work that they do. I just want to send much love to everyone at Little Prairie Christian Church and say happy 200th anniversary.
Hi, my name is Blair, and I like all the teachers at the church.
Hi, this is Mark Searby from Gainesville, Florida. So happy to be able to be at Little Prairie's 200th anniversary. It's an exciting time for the church and for individuals. I just want to say how thankful I am for the men and women who taught me in Sunday school when I was young, for the great foundation that they gave me, not only in Scripture, but just the model that they became of what it means to be a servant leader. I'm also grateful for the youth sponsors who invested in my life and the life of so many of us back in those days. I'm thankful for the leaders, particularly the elders who ordained me into Christian ministry. I'm grateful for all those people, especially our neighbors who invited us to Little Prairie, and for their investment in our family, the way they encouraged us and lifted us up. And I'm really thankful for the way that Little Prairie supported me and my siblings and allowed us to be able to go to Lincoln Christian College, supported us financially with prayers and encouragement. Just such a blessing to be a part of such a great church. So I'm glad to see this 200th anniversary, and I just continue to pray for Little Prairie's witness in Albion and Edwards County and beyond. God bless you all, and looking forward to this great celebration.
Hi, I'm Tony Johnson. My connection with Little Prairie began in the late 60s when I rode the old white school bus out to the Little White Church for Vacation Bible School. I attended several years, and the year it was at the high school, and then the year that they were in the new building. And Little Prairie's been a part of my life in and out for most of my growing up years. I began to attend fairly faithfully through my good friend Doug Kelsey, and it was him that Doug had a great influence on my life in attending Little Prairie. Little Prairie has been such an encouragement and supportive church to me. My walk with Jesus grew greatly during my junior high and high school years through the teachings of Rick and Kay Wolford and Larry and Marilyn Music, Jack and Linda Kelsey, Roy Longbonds, Maxine and Leroy Drexel, and I joined the church the late summer of '77 after being in Sojourners that summer, and I was able to be in Sojourners for several years after that, and it directed 1 year. When I made the decision to attend Lincoln Christian College then, Rick Wolford had a huge impact on my life and to attend there. The church was so supportive in their prayers and in finances, and also allowing me to preach my first 8-minute sermon on a Sunday night. But what encouragement that church has been, not just to me, but to the hundreds and hundreds of people who've come through the doors, maybe thousands of the last 200 years. What a light Little Prairie is to the community. It is my home church, and I love the people there dearly, and grateful to be a part of this church family, and looking forward to celebrating with you. Thank you, Little Prairie. You helped this young little boy on the white bus grow into someone who's serving Jesus and little kids now. Thank you.